Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Woman shot dead at wake, 3 others injured in St. Catherine. A woman was shot dead and 3 other people injured during an attack by gunmen at a night in Central Village, St. Catherine on Friday. Reports are that the deceased female arrived on the island Thursday to bury her mother and was at the wake that was being held in Spalding section of the mentioned parish when gunmen invaded the event. Sources report that armed men opened fire on a group of people before escaping. Police were called and during a search of the area, 4 people were found suffering from gunshot wounds. The injured were rushed to the hospital, where 1 woman from the group succumbed to injuries. The other victims in the group were admitted to a hospital. The attack comes just days after a separate incident where 2 people, one of them the sister of Ananda Dean, were shot and killed and 2 other people injured in the same parish. There were no reported connections between the 2 cases. Millions of dollars worth of cable wires recovered in Portmore raid. The St. Catherine South Police is reporting a significant dent in the operations of the criminal network that trade its copper wire for the recovery Saturday morning of what is estimated to be hundreds of feet of cable, wires used by telecommunications companies. It is understood that a small team of police acting on information carried out an operation at 4:20 a.m. on Augustus Drive in Passage Fort, Portmore, St. Catherine, where vandals were in the process of removing cable wires. According to information received, the vandals, estimated to be about 8 including lookouts, ran in different directions on the approach of the police, leaving behind the cable wires. The small group of police could not chase and all the criminals escaped. It is believed that the criminals had vehicles parked in different sections of Portmore that were to be used to do the pickup. The removed cable wires disrupted the telecommunications network of households and businesses in sections of Portmore, which includes Waterford, Caymanas, Passage Fort, and Gregory Park. Several banks operating in this space were also impacted. The team recovered all of what they had removed and placed a dent in the lucrative copper trade. This was a multi-million-dollar find, which will enable the telecommunications company to recover some of the losses they had been incurring for a while, a police source reported. Cops seriously injured in Stony Hill crash. A member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF is in serious condition in hospital following a collision involving a police service vehicle and a Jamaica Urban Transit Company bus on Long Lane Main Road in Stony Hill, St. Andrew. The police vehicle with 4 officers aboard reportedly collided with a number 53 bus in the vicinity of Red Girl Ring, a crash hotspot in the area. The incident occurred at 8:30 p.m. All the JCF members are being treated at hospital. The driver of the service vehicle is reportedly in serious condition. No injuries have been reported from persons aboard the bus. The police service vehicle was headed in the direction of Constant Spring when, on negotiating a corner, it collided with the JUTC bus, which was heading in the opposite direction according to reports. Police investigation continued into the crash. Damage from fire at China Express estimated at $40 million. Firefighters have placed a preliminary estimate for damage caused by a fire at the China Express restaurant in the upscale marketplace complex in St. Andrew at $40 million. Acting Deputy Superintendent at the York Park Fire Station, Courtney Thompson, said firefighters responded to a call about the incident at 5:53 a.m. He said 1 unit from Halfway Tree Fire Station initially responded to the situation. However, based on the magnitude of the fire, 2 additional units were requested from York Park. It took some 21 firefighters to extinguish the blaze. Thompson said the structure is partially damaged and no injuries were reported. Investigations are continuing to determine the cause of the fire. 5 people sentenced in 2020 robbery and murder of Kingston businessman Roger Chang. 5 people have pleaded guilty and have been sentenced in the Home Circuit Court for 2020 robbery and murder of Kingston businessman Roger Chang in Dover, St. Mary. This was confirmed in a release by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions ODPP yesterday. Sentenced are Kadisha McKenzie, Seabert Duggan, Ludlow Cousins, Jamar Jackson, and Derika Reed. Cousins, Jackson, and Reed were minors at the time of the incident. Between April 7, 2022 On May 20, 2022, 4 of the 6 accused entered plea of guilt in the St. Mary Circuit Court, and Duncan pleaded guilty in the Home Circuit Court. They were all sentenced by Justice Stephanie Jackson Hasty. Mackenzie pleaded guilty to the offenses of illegal possession of firearm, robbery with aggravation, unauthorized access to computer data, acquiring criminal property, and murder. According to the ODPP, on March 15, 2020, the lifeless body of Rajab Chang was found on a beach in Dover, St. Mary. The body had multiple stab wounds, and the post-mortem examination revealed that death was due to multiple stab wounds to the torso. It is understood that Chang traveled to St. Mary on a date with Mackenzie, whom he met on the popular dating app Tinder. This date took them to a river in Enfield in the parish. However, at some point prior to this trip, a plan was hatched to rob Chang. At some point during the robbery, it was suggested that Chang be killed as he had seen their faces, the ODPP stated. The then 3 minors objected to this course and eventually left the location where Chang was being held. Once they shared in the money and other properties taken from the victim, Mackenzie Duggan and another accused transported Chang to a beach in Dover where he was stabbed multiple times. Mackenzie Duggan and then minors were arrested in March 2020, as 6 accused was arrested in 2021. For the offense of illegal possession of firearm, Mackenzie was sentenced to 12 years imprisonment. For robbery with aggravation, she was sentenced to 13 years. For unauthorized access to computer data, she was sentenced to 2 years and 6 months imprisonment. For acquiring criminal property, she was sentenced to 12 years, and for murder, she was given life imprisonment. Mackenzie will not be eligible for parole before serving 22 years and 6 months. Duggan pleaded guilty to the offenses of illegal possession of firearm, for which he was sentenced to 13 years, robbery with aggravation, for which he was given 13 years and 6 months imprisonment, and for murder, for which he was sentenced to life imprisonment. Duggan will not be eligible for parole before serving 24 years and 6 months. Cousins pleaded guilty to the offenses of illegal possession of firearm and robbery with aggravation, and he will be serving 8 years and 2 months imprisonment and 8 years and 2 months respectively. Jackson pleaded guilty to the offenses of illegal possession of firearm and robbery with aggravation. He was sentenced to 7 years and 9 months imprisonment and 8 years and 4 months imprisonment respectively. Reed pleaded guilty to the offenses of illegal possession of firearm, robbery with aggravation, for which he was sentenced to 9 years and 11 months for both charges. He also pleaded guilty to unauthorized access to computer data, for which he was given 4 years and 11 months, and acquiring criminal property, for which he was sentenced to 7 years and 11 months. For National Children's Day, Prime Minister Andrew Holness reminded us to listen to our children. As parents and guardians and persons responsible for children, let us encourage them to speak to us.
National Children's Day provides an opportunity to celebrate our children and their achievements, bring focused attention on their rights, and promote positive family and community engagement with them. We mark this day as part of Child Month in May. The theme for Child Month 2022 is Listen Up! Children's Voices Matter, and is aimed at encouraging the wider society to provide the platforms and opportunities for children to express themselves and to share their perspectives about what matters to them. I am encouraging all of us as parents and guardians at home, as teachers in schools, and leaders and mentors in religious and civic groups to enable discussions in a positive and non-judgmental environment that will give our children a sense of confidence to speak their truths without fear of negative reactions. Too often, children suffer in silence, fearful of repercussions if they express frustration or report abuse. Let us break this cycle of silence by facilitating safe environments for our children and to speak up and speak out. The government has provided various avenues for our children to speak up about the things that are of concern to them. 2 such avenues are the 211 Child Abuse Helpline and Safe Spot, the National Child and Teen Helpline. The 211 Child Abuse Helpline has been activated and receives an average of 3,000 calls per week and operates on a 24/7 basis to provide help to our children. SafeSpot, the National Child and Teen Helpline, was launched in 2021 by the Office of the Children's Advocate in partnership with the private sector organization of Jamaica and UNICEF as a response to the displacement of children due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Through this helpline, hundreds of children have received counseling support for a myriad of problems. Let us listen to our children when they speak, even if it is just a whisper. Let us not stifle their ambitions, but instead try to listen to them and try to see their perspective. As we continue to deal with COVID-19, many of our children are still readjusting to schooling in their physical classrooms, and in some cases, interacting with still relatively new classmates. As parents and guardians, we must do all we can to help them adjust to a disciplined routine in a holistic way, mindful of the need to respect themselves and others. Our children have demonstrated their capacity to adjust quickly to changing circumstances. Some do this better than others. Let us be discerning of the silent ones who may be struggling with different issues and may be reluctant to express themselves. Let us assure and reassure them of our love and support. Let us also renew our commitment to ensuring the well-being and holistic development of all our children. To all our children, this is your day. Happy Children's Day. May God bless our children. May God bless Jamaica, land we love.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.